I've got some Mailbag stuff. Let me show you what I've got this time. Maybe you want some. I don't know. Do you? It's looking a bit compressed. I guess it costs less to post this one. You know, seeing as it's fit into a smaller space. I know exactly what this is, because I got one just before. I thought I'd order two. See if I can get it out of the packet. There we go. So the other one's still sitting with this over here. So this is a, as I said previously, last Mailbag, 32GB drive. Now I purchased these, interestingly, from two different suppliers on eBay. I think off eBay. Yeah, pretty sure it's on eBay. So there's a PATA, in case you didn't see the last Mailbag, these are parallel ATA SSDs. Now, I don't actually need one, but I got one. I always get two of everything. But I got them from two different suppliers. Two different prices. One was about $10 more than the other, something like that. But they came from the same supplier, obviously. They're both shipped exactly the same way, same packaging. It's come from the same place. So, yeah, anyway. But yeah, this is what it is. I'll show you this again, just in case you didn't see it last time. But they're both the same drives. The quality doesn't feel great. It feels, you know, it doesn't feel like good quality plastics. I don't know, it doesn't give me much confidence. Anyway, we'll see how that ends up being. It could be a disaster. But that's for my CMU 200. I'm going to be changing the hard drive to SSD. Let's see what's in this one. What did I buy this for? Oh, I remember now. Okay, right. This is an RF amplifier module. Well, it's an amplifier module, what's to say? Well, I don't know, I suppose it is RF. And I've got something similar to this already, somewhere. I've bought this one before, and I don't know what I don't know where it is now. Anyway, it happens. So it's 0.1 megahertz to 4,000 megahertz. So 100 hertz, no, that's not right, 100 kilohertz to 4 gigahertz apparently on this MMIC. So yes, RF in, RF out, and the VCC and power, though it doesn't see what the VCC should be. It'd be nice if it said like 12 volts, 5 volts, something like that. I'm guessing it'll be on the listing. Check out soldering quality. Yeah. Yeah. That one's not even soldered this side. I think that'll need rectifying. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I got this. It's got 20 dB gain apparently. And I'll finish the sentence any second. Any second I'll finish the sentence where I said I got this for something. I purchased some near-field probes. They're relatively cheap compared to the professional ones you get in boxes and high quality. You know, with known response curves and known, I don't know, what do you call it, gains, I suppose. Oh, it's not a gain, is it? I mean, is it an antenna? If it's an antenna, doesn't have a gain, it does. But are they antennas? I don't know. Anyway, near-field probes. So I purchased some cheap ones, well, relatively cheap ones, and they're on the way. And I thought, well, they're going to need a little amplifier, most likely, to pick up weak signals. If I'm probing something, maybe I'll need that for that, but we'll see. I mean, Dave Jones did a video on it a few months ago now, near-field probes, and a little amplifier he tried. I think it might be something like this one. And yeah, the DIY version, I suppose, was actually not too bad. But these are proper probes being, you know, made properly. Well, you'd hope they're made properly, but they are cheap ones because they're basically some circuit boards slapped together with the traces and the outline you need. But you know, if you need an amplifier, then you might need that too. So it's for doing checking on circuitry to see where noise is emanating from. You can even use it for detecting RF. So if you need to sniff an RF signal from board in order to, say, check a frequency setting, like a calibration of a crystal, you could sniff that frequency off the board non-contact, so it doesn't actually affect the circuitry, which means you can tune it without affecting it. That's quite an important thing, like doing radio work. More important now that I don't have my Tektronix scope. Well, I do still have it, but it's in other lab and on a shelf, not being used, because that had a channel 2 output on the back, so you could probe with channel 2 of the scope and it would feed a sampled or amplified signal from the channel 2 back to the back panel and output that, so you could plug into a frequency counter and measure the frequencies through the scope, so you can see what you're probing on the scope and see the frequency on the counter without loading down the circuitry. So that's pretty cool, but I missed that feature. None of my current gear can do that. Anyway, I'm waffling. So that's part of the near field probe idea, is to use it for that sort of stuff. Right, moving on. What's in here? Is it a rubbish bag? No, I don't think it is. Well, that much, it might be a rubbish bag. Oh, it's got a depth adapter. Oh, it's got 2 depth adapters. It's twice as deadly. What else has it got? Okay, because of the thing with the IDE PATA drives, and I've got no interface to connect to them, I also need to transfer data between the CMU hard drive and these new drives. So I thought, right, I need to get some kind of drive reading software, or drive reading hardware. So I've got these different versions, and they all come from the same seller. So let's have a look at them all. Comes with a little power adapter. That's what the depth adapters are for. So you've got a USB 3 cable. It's nice, actually USB 3. This is USB 3 to IDE and SATA, so it does both. So 2 versions of power supply, interestingly. So 12 volt in there, and these other ones. Mind you, those might be. There you go. These are power supplies for the drive. So I'll get this out. So this is where you plug a drive into there, and you power the drive from this module. In this case, the IDE stuff, obviously not SATA. So there's the IDE interface. That's 3.5 inch and 2.5 inch IDEs, and there's a SATA port there. Been a while since I worked with IDE, so it's different size. So you got 2.5 inch, which is laptop size, obviously, and 3.5 inch, which is desktop size. So they're not exactly the same. They've got different pin outs. They're not exactly the same. There's one pin which is missing, right? So the drive's got to go upside down in this case. Let's try and get this in focus so you can see what the hell I'm doing. Now the drive has got one pin missing in the middle. It's a bit hard to see, but there is one pin right there which is missing, and the same one here is one pin which is blanked off, missing just there. So you have to make sure you line those up. That way you can plug the drive in. And you got those other 2 pins here. Those usually like for like slave and master setting sort of thing. But these ones, they get power through the interface. Alright, so that's the difference with these, that they get power from this, whereas the 3.5 inch drives don't get power from that. They get it from the other cable, and obviously SATA gets it through the cable as well, or through the interface. So it looks fine. Now it looks like it'll do what I want. It does have a little manual here to tell you a little bit about it. How it works, yes, well, I'll just show you how it works through, I suppose. Different languages. Let's find the English one. There you go, there's the English one, I'll show you that. And focus. Right. Here we go. You can read that, just pause it, have a read. There seems to be a missing space. Just there. And there's the other part of the leaflet just there. It shows the configuration options and how you do it. That's one version. Years ago when I was playing around with iMacs, the old iMac, what were they called? The original iMac, the very first one, the CRT screen. 5 flavours or something they called them, different colours, you know, it's coloured polycarbonate cases. They had a tendency to blow the CRT driver up, the actual drive card which ran the CRT. The high voltage stuff would tend to blow up. They could be fixed, but usually it is actually the high voltage transformer. flyback transformer, which would go. And one of the things I did for a little while is I was actually gutting the iMac out of the case, getting the logic board out, and putting that into a PC case and adapting it all up and converting it to a PC power supply and all that sort of stuff. And I had to convert the 2.5-inch IDE hard drive interface into a 3.5-inch to plug into a normal drive, or whatever I was doing at the time. Something like that. So yeah, I did a bit of work with those many years ago. I don't know, 15 years ago, something like that, I suppose. Right, it's another version. This has just got IDE 2.5-inch and 3.5-inch interface with a USB 2 connection. And we have a incorrect power block again for the depth adapter. It doesn't plug in anyway. We've got a power block here, which outputs 12 volts and 5 volts at 2 amps apparently. And it's SATA cable. So that's got a Molex connector on there, so you can plug that straight into the drive, straight from that power supply. Oh, okay, there we go. There's SATA on the back as well. That's why. That's why it's got this other cable. So your power cable and the actual SATA interface cable as well. So there. So this does all three as well, but in a much more compact way. But it's only USB 2. It's not USB 3, so it won't be as fast. There'll be links for these things down below. I'll make sure I link to them. Then we've got the last one, which looks surprisingly similar to this one in the box. It is exactly the same as the one that's in the box. It's in the plastic bag instead, with no power supply. I think I got this thinking, well, I'm going to have a power supply anyway with these two things, so I'm going to have power supplies to use it on the drives, so I wouldn't really need one. But this is also USB 2, so exactly the same as the one that's in here, just not inside the box. That was a waste of time. Anyway, never mind. So there'll be links for these things down below. I'm sure you might find them useful. But yeah, I've got these to work on these drives, so I can transfer data between drives, which one needed more than one. So I can transfer the original drive onto the new drive, and hopefully do like a complete mirror of it, and hopefully work. I probably have to use a PC and Ubuntu or something. I don't know. I've got no bloody idea. The Mac won't do it nicely. I know that much. Okay, and the last thing, make sure you stick around. I think I know what's in here. I ordered these and I thought, I needed some. And I was looking through my stuff afterwards, like literally 10 minutes later, then I realised, actually, I don't need them, I've already got some. So, I've got a few too many of these now, if these are what I think they are anyway. My RAM stick let me down. Right, that's it, is it? And there. So in here we have MacBook keyboards. I think that's a 15-inch. You can tell by the length of the flex on for the power button here. Sliding out the bag, it's upside down. This is not a new keyboard. This is a used keyboard, and it's got staining on it. This is not new. There's dirt on the back here. Now, usually with used stuff, I don't mind used stuff. Right, normally, like used parts for Apple stuff, I don't normally mind it. Apart from keyboards, because you can get good quality keyboards new, but there's some residue on here. You can see a bit there. The back of the power button's got residue on it. Does that mean this has been liquid damaged? The front of it looks like it's brand new. It's almost like it's got brand new keycaps. I don't know, maybe it's just some residue from their process, but that looks like it's been kinked over, like it's been used. This bit here. Yeah, I'm sure this is a used keyboard. I'm pretty sure it is, unless it's just part of their manufacturing process, but I'm suspicious about that one. Keyboards, I don't like to have used keyboards because you never quite know what you're going to get. You know, it could be that all the buttons apart from one works, and you won't know till you put the thing in. Here's another one. Comes with a whole bunch of keyboard screws as well. Let's make I'm a bit too close. Right, so I've got 2 bags of keyboard screws and another keyboard here, which does look like it's brand new. This one looks new. This one looks like it's brand new. No residue. So yeah, this one looks alright. This one I'm suspicious of. So yeah, no, I guess when I go to use them, I'll use this one first. There's 2 keyboards. I'm pretty sure they're for the 15s. I did buy a couple of ones as well. Couldn't be for 17, I really don't remember. Yeah. The sort of thing that, well, there's a risk right now. I'll explain why I'm getting these bits and pieces and I don't actually need them right now. Times 3 pieces. There's only 2 keyboards in there, I should check that. What was I saying? Oh yes. New Zealand law recently, well, it's going to be changing this year for importing stuff. Anything, I think it's in October now, there was going to be soon, and I think it got pushed back. For applying duty to anything you buy from overseas, which means websites will have to apply tax to things you buy. In this case, like AliExpress and Banggood and places like that. Now, eBay already does that, so it's not a problem for eBay, that's fine. But AliExpress have threatened to stop selling to New Zealand because of the complexity of trying to implement it. Because if you're buying a $1 item, you've got to put tax on that, right? You know, or whatever. It's ridiculous. So, I think they're going to find it too hard to implement, and so they're actually going to. I think they actually threatened just to stop selling to New Zealand, and so because of that, I'm actually stocking up on bits and pieces which I might need. So, keyboards, you know, things which are harder to get. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my waffle and listening to my waffle and the waffle and the waffling. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be getting something. Subscribe, click the bell icon, they're down there somewhere. Definitely click the bell. Clicking the bell is important, otherwise you don't hear from me. Also, recommendation. Another recommendation I should make. Don't go away yet. Hang on, stay right there. I'm talking to you. I recommend on YouTube you set your bookmark to be your subscription page. So when you come to YouTube and you've got the various pages, you've got the home screen, you've got your subscription screen, so you click on the subscriptions link at the top left and it brings up your subscriptions. Bookmark that page and make that your main page, so when you come to YouTube, that's the page you start on. The reason being, it makes sure you see your subscriptions, see what's been published in that day or the previous couple of days or whatever, alright? Because notifications don't always get to you, and it means that at least if you go to that screen first, you can look through your subscriptions and what's been published recently in the past day or two, and you're less likely to miss things you might want to see. Just a bit of a pro tip there. There's a few other YouTubers I've seen saying the same things. I'll point it out too because it is a good concept. Make your subscription page your main page on YouTube, so when you click your bookmark, you go straight there. Okay, right. That's enough waffle. Yeah, catch you later. Bye. Bye. Double wave. But wait, there's more. I packed everything up and started chucking the rubbish out, and I found this in the packaging. I missed a bit. This looks interesting. Let's take a closer look. It's an IDE to SATA adapter. So it means you can get a SATA drive and put it onto an IDE interface. Or vice versa. I'm not quite sure which way it goes actually. I wonder. That's a drive interface. So you get a IDE drive and put it onto a SATA interface. This is like backward compatibility. So if you've got an old drive, you can plug it into SATA. And the reason I got this as well is for the same deal with my CMU200 communications analyzer, or communications tester, we would call it. So you can get the IDE drive, plug it in here, plug it into a SATA interface, and still be able to read the drive. It's got some kind of conversion chip on here. Anyway, right, now I'm done. Bye. Focus, you bastard. Come on, get there.